Hello fans and welcome to Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School. The Wildcats face off against NVL rival Sacred Heart tonight here in Waterbury. Thanks so much for tuning on in, folks. I'm Zach McGinnis. The Wilby Wildcats will have a task in front of them today. They come into this game with a record of 3 wins and 2 losses, but they go up against the 4-time defending state champions Sacred Heart. The Hearts have come in with a 66 game Naugatuck Valley League winning streak. They have won the last 3 division titles. They have won the last 4 state titles. They are 4-1 coming into this game. Their only loss coming at Long Island Lutheran just less than a week ago at the Lehigh Invitational presented by Gateway. Player introductions about to get underway. First, we'll take a look at the visiting Sacred Heart Hearts. Up front, they are led by freshman number 0, Connor Tierney. If you're wondering why he's a center and why he's a freshman playing varsity, just look at his size, 6 feet 11 inches tall. Not too bad for a teenager. The guards are going to be Andre Anderson and Raheem Solomon, both seniors. The forwards, Isaiah Gator and Fran Barton, both seniors as well. And really, when you take a look at what Sacred Heart has been able to do, not only in the Naugatuck Valley League, but quite simply as a team themselves, they have been nuts. They have done everything right. This is a team that every time you think Sacred Heart, after their 2nd state championship, their 3rd straight championship, their 4th state championship, you think maybe they would tail off, but head coach John Carroll, now in his 13th season, has an all-time record of 214 wins against 84 losses. And again, Sacred Heart, really the class of the NVL, the class of the state, again with 4 straight state championships. Meanwhile, for Wilby, the starters, the guards are going to be Calvin Hicks, 20, Ronte Williams, number 1, Christian Harris, and the forwards are going to be Angel Gonzalez and Dazon Mayo. Some of the biggest cheers reserved for Christian Harris, the returning senior. 14.5 points last year per game. That led Wilby all the way. We're going to go down courtside for the playing of our national anthem, Wildcats and Hearts, coming up next. So the team's back to their benches. Last-minute instructions coming from the coaches. The Wilby Wildcats are led by Al Piccolo, now in his 12th season, manning the sideline for Wilby. He comes in with an all-time record of 126 wins and 103 losses last year for Wilby, a season they'd rather soon forget, finishing with an overall record of 8 wins and 13 losses. They were selected to go to the state tournament, but missed out on the NVL playoffs. Sacred Heart in their road maroon uniforms with the white trim. Wilby in their home white uniforms with the green trim. They'll be going from left to right on your screens at home here in the first quarter. 6'11", Connor Tierney coming in for the tip. Angel Gonzalez with the unenviable task of going up against him, yet Wilby will control. Driving the lane early, Ronte Williams, he gets stuffed. Now Isaiah Gator will lead things out for the Hearts. Quickly along for Anderson. Andre Anderson for Tierney. Tierney picks up the ball. Now Barton. Tierney on the ground, and we'll have an early jump ball here just 25 seconds into the first quarter. Off possession, it will be Sacred Heart's ball. Andre Anderson to inbound. He finds Raheem Solomon. Solomon for Tierney, who puts it in. So the Hearts strike first. Will be looking to respond. Falling down on the play, unable to do anything with it, was Angel Gonzalez. Now driving, and the layup bounces out. Isaiah Gator getting denied by the rim. Ronte Williams the other way. Christian Harris. Now kicked out for Mayo. Harris again for three, no good. Rebound loose, picked up by Gonzalez. Falling down, but coming up with the ball was Solomon. Back the other way, Gator gets fouled. And so it will be Hearts ball underneath the basket. Just a minute and 19 seconds gone by here in the first quarter. And Connor Tierney with the only points of the game. So Andre Anderson to inbound. Once the referees have a few words for the players. Looks like behind the play it was Raheem Solomon getting tied up with Ronte Williams. Now Tierney under the basket, back for Anderson. Barton with the travel, and it will be Wilby's ball. Just a minute 23 gone by now. You see the full court press of the Hearts early on here. We'll see if head coach John Carroll sticks with that throughout the game. Gonzalez for three, picks up his own rebound. Given down low for Hicks. Now back up top for Williams. Gonzalez with the basket, and we are tied. Here's Solomon. And not sure what the whistle was for. It's actually a foul off the ball. It goes against Calvin Hicks, his first. Connor Tierney gives back to Gator, whose shot gets blocked. Coming the other way, Hicks gives down low, and an easy put away for Christian Harris, his first bucket of the game, and Wilby with their first lead. Now Tierney the other way, takes a bump, gives along for Anderson. Now from way downtown, Raheem Solomon can't get that to fall. Rebound picked up by Williams. Ronte Williams driving in a floater. Misses everything. Gonzalez picked up the rebound, and it's going to be Sacred Heart ball. Gonzalez was figuring that that was going to be his own team's ball. Now Isaiah Gator. Gator with a pull-up puts it on through, and we are tied once again at 4. 2.5 gone by here in the first quarter. Christian Harris, and a big block by Connor Tierney. Oh, that's what it feels like going up against a center who is 6'11". My goodness. Wilby ball off the inbounds. This is Harris for Williams. Now Christian Harris. Back to Williams, thought about the three. Foul. I believe that it's going against Isaiah Gator. his first, and it will be Wilby ball. Sacred Heart has a senior-heavy team coming into this game. They've got a pair of freshmen, one sophomore. Everybody else on the roster is a senior. Another big block by Tierney, his second of the game. Back the other way, Isaiah Gator gets it through, and the Hearts once again have the lead. It's 6-4. Now Calvin Hicks. Hicks being pressured by Solomon, finds Gonzalez. Now Williams trying to drive in, Tierney just forming a wall, and it's going to be Sacred Heart ball, as it looked like that ricocheted off the shoe of Ronte Williams. So 3:25 gone by here in the first quarter. 6-4 your score, Sacred Heart with the lead. Isaiah Gator with 4 points, leading all players right now. Offensive foul called on the play, and it will be Wilby ball. We'll have our first substitution of the game as Dejan Mayo takes a seat on the bench. Tyquay Harding checking in for the first time. And this is Harding with the ball. Tyquay Harding, nice little hesitation move, gets that blocked out of bounds. Who else but Connor Tierney with the block? He's got 3 now. A three-pointer off the iron for Harris, and then going out of bounds is Isaiah Gator. So it's going to remain a Wilby ball in the Hearts' end. 4:14 to go in the first quarter. Wilby looking to draw even once again. Harris on the inbounds. Goes back for Tyquay Harding. Now Gonzalez for Williams. Ronte Williams with a clean look as it go in and out. But it's going to stay Wilby ball. Connor Tierney had the ball in his hands. Couldn't quite corral it. Christian Harris again. He finds Tyquay Hardy driving on in. Passing across, an open look, and an easy basket for Christian Harris. He's got 4 points now. And once again, we are tied now at 6. Aggressive defense being applied by Harris. Raheem Solomon able to get around it. Now Isaiah Gator for 3. It's good. Gator with a quick release. Perhaps caught Wilby sleeping there. And the Hearts have their biggest lead of the game. It's 9-6. Looking to respond is Tyquay Harding. Harding floats one up, gets fouled on the play. A foul against Fran Barton, his first. And shooting 2 will be Tyquay Harding. Still just a one-possession game. Sacred Heart with the 9-6 lead. 3:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Harding's first is good. Checking in is Noah Francisco for Sacred Heart. Damian Wade for Wilby. Now Harding second. That's good as well. And it's a 1-point game. This is Andre Anderson. Across half court, being closely watched by Christian Harris. Anderson is able to get it down low. Pass intended for Tierney, broken up. Here comes Tyquay Harding the other way. Christian Harris gets blocked from behind, looking for a foul, none coming. Noah Francisco the other way. A shot and timeout, I believe, was called. Actually, no, it's going to be an offensive foul against Raheem Solomon. His first, it'll be Wilby ball. 2:48 to go here in the first quarter. The Wildcats doing a good job of keeping pace with Sacred Heart. Christian Harris, the guard, gets things into his offensive end. Now Wade for Harding. Tyquay Harding kicks it on out for Ronte Williams. Williams drives and travels his way into a turnover. And it'll be Sacred Heart ball. 2:28 to go here in the first. Francisco inbounds to Raheem Solomon. Now Isaiah Gator for Francisco. Connor Tierney gets fouled on the play. Foul is against Christian Harris, his first. And the freshman will shoot 2 from the line. His first, no good. Checking in is Antoine Black. He replaces Calvin Hicks. Now Tierney's second. Also no good. Tierney 0 for 2 from the line. And this is still a 1-point game. Black gives to Harris. Christian Harris driving on in. Gets the basket, gets the lead, and Wilby's up by 1. Now Andre Anderson rotates with Francisco. Tierney, pass knocked away. Coming the other way, fast break. Tyquay Harding puts it on home. And timeout called by John Carroll of Sacred Heart. It's a 12-9 lead for the Wilby Wildcats with 1:43 to go here in the first quarter. Before the game, had a chance to speak with Wilby head coach Al Piccolo, and really the question on everybody's mind was, how do you deal with a center who's as big as Connor Tierney? And well, he sort of laughed and said, asked me after the game, I think he came in with a plan, because so far Wilby has done a good job doubling up on the big man. They have prevented him from really controlling underneath the basket, which isn't exactly an easy task when you're going up against a teenager who's 6'11". Nobody on Wilby's side of the bench goes over 6'6". So Sacred Heart, after getting instructions from the bench, it will be their ball. 3-point deficit that they face right now is the largest so far of the game, yet neither team has really been able to extend a lead that's more than one possession. Anderson, the senior, watched closely by Christian Harris. Now given along for Raheem Solomon. Bumped on out for Noah Francisco. Now Solomon again. He finds Tierney. Tierney has it ripped out of his hands by Ronte Williams. It will remain Sacred Heart ball. But again, another example of the Wildcats quickly closing in on the big center. Off the inbounds. Alex Gonzalez had his shot blocked. Now for 3. Isaiah Gator, his second from downtown. 10 points, leads all scorers. It's 12-12. Tyquay Harding gets fouled on the way up to the basket, and he'll go to the line. Harding is 2 for 2 from the charity line. 1:07 remaining here in the first quarter. And Harding will shoot 2. His first is good. Coming out of the game is Ronte Williams. He had been in since the opening kickoff. Ball out of bounds. It will remain a Wilby ball as Harding missed on his second shot. Christian Harris for Wade. Now Black. Antoine Black for Damian Wade. His three rims in and out. Now a foul behind the play. Antoine Black's going to draw it. Black, his first foul. Fourth team foul. Sacred Heart has 5 team fouls so far. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter as Raheem Solomon lays one in. His first points of the game, and it restores Sacred Heart's lead 14-13. Now kicked out, Dazon Mayo. Air ball over the top. Wade on the rebound. Connor Tierney, well, showing off his size once again. Now Christian Harris gets it home. Good job by Harris to recover with the ball loose between his legs. It's a high arc on the shot and restores this 1-point lead for Wilby. Now Anderson for Tierney, a hook shot. Easy peasy. Right back the other way. Christian Harris lays it on home. Harris now with 10 points, leading Wilby. At the buzzer, no good. And so at the end of the first quarter, it's a Wilby Wildcats 17, the Sacred Heart 16. In that first quarter for Sacred Heart, Isaiah Gator with 10 points, including a pair from downtown. Connor Tierney with 4 points, went 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Raheem Solomon with a lone basket as well. Meanwhile, for Wilby, Christian Harris with 10 points. Harris is 5 for 6 from the field. Tyquay Harding went 3 for 4 from the line, had a field goal as well, good for 5 points. Angel Gonzalez with 2 points, 2 rebounds as well in that first quarter to lead Wilby. Connor Tierney already with 5 blocks so far in this game. And, well, for Wilby, that's going to be the story of their offense, and whether their offense actually works. And it's how they can keep the ball away from Connor Tierney, or at least try to draw him out of position and open up the lane. Prior to this game, these two teams, JV teams, squared off, and it was Wilby coming away with a 63-49 victory. First JV victory that Wilby has recorded over Sacred Heart in quite some time. Back underway here in the second quarter, and it's Christian Harris dealing out for Mayo. Now Harding. On the ISO, he draws Noah Francisco towards him. Now Damian Wade and Antoine Black. Back for Wade. Giving a long back, Harding. Now Harris for 3, it's good! Christian Harris from downtown. That makes it a 20-16 game. Connor Tierney misses on that. Now here's Tyquay Harding the other way. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to remain Wilby ball. 52 seconds gone by here in the second quarter. 20-16 your score. Wilby with the lead. This is Tyquay Harding. Tierney gets a big paw on that. Coming the other way, Andre Anderson. Foul on the play. And it's going to go against Damian Wade, his first. Checking back in Calvin Hicks. He replaces Christian Harris, as Harris will get his first seat on the bench. Ronte Williams replacing Antoine Black as well. Christian Harris with 10 points in that first quarter. He's added another 3. Now Connor Tierney, an air ball. The rebound picked up by Raheem Solomon. He can't get it to go. Back the other way, Tyquay Harding driving on in. Floats one over the center. Now Ronte Williams can't quite thread the needle. He was looking for Damian Wade, but no sail there. It will remain Wilby ball. Slipping on the play, Tyquay Harding. He goes out of bounds. And it will be Sacred Heart ball. Sacred Heart has possession right now. And Raheem Solomon driving to the outside, manages to cut one back in. Gets the basket. It's a 20-18 game. Wilby still with the lead. Just a minute 33 seconds in the second quarter. Ronte Williams driving on in, runs into Tierney. Tierney gets charged with the foul, his first. And it'll be Williams going to the line for 2. His first is good. Williams, as mentioned, a transfer from Crosby High School last year, and quickly becoming one of the leaders on this Wilby Wildcats team. Now Williams second. That's good as well. And once again, it's a 2-possession game, 22-18 in favor of the Wildcats. Tucking, running, and putting it home, Isaiah Gator getting things done for the Hearts. Then falling down very awkwardly on the play is Dazon Mayo. He's back up to his feet. And good to see that he escaped any injury. Angel Gonzalez comes out of the game. Checking in for the first time is Cyrus Smith for Wilby. Or check that, it'll be, I don't know. Smith remains in. Christian Harris comes back in. He replaces Tyquay Harding. So a minute, 52 seconds gone by in the second quarter. Wilby with the 2-point lead. Raheem Solomon for Isaiah Gator. Gator with the spin move gets fouled on his way up. He'll go to the line for 2. The Hearts with an opportunity here to tie things up again. Again, coming into this game, Sacred Heart with a winning streak within the Naugatuck Valley League, as Gator gets his first. But 63 straight victories in the NVL coming into this season. Gator makes it a 2 for 2. And so far they've got victories over Wilkett, St. Paul, Holy Cross, and Derby. But this game perhaps not going the way that head coach John Carroll was anticipating. Christian Harris out on the ISO. Harris picks up a block, tries driving towards the basket. Fouled on the way up is Cyrus Smith. And Smith will get to shoot 2. Just about 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. Cyrus Smith, his first. No good. Wilby's been good from the line so far in this game. Tyquay Harding, 3 for 4. Ronte Williams, 2 for 2. Cyrus Smith, 0 for 1 so far. They'll make that 1 for 2. And after that, Smith will check out. Damian Wade coming back in. Caleb Sampson out on the court for Sacred Heart. His first action of the game. Meanwhile, the pull-up jumper by Solomon. The rebound put home. Drawing the foul on the play as well as Caleb Sampson, the freshman. And he'll get a tough and one shot here. Sacred Heart again with the lead. It's 24-23 so far. Both teams with 17 fouls. Calvin Hicks will find his way back to the bench. Antoine Black coming on in. Meanwhile, Sampson can't get that to fall. Rebound picked up by Zach Francisco. The hesitation shot by Gators no good. Noah Francisco can't come up with the rebound, and then he gets called for the foul. So Wilby with 1-1 down on the other end of the court. Will be Ronte Williams, who is 2 for 2 from the line to take these shots. Checking back in, Fran Barton. He replaces Francisco. So Ronte Williams, his first, no good. Rebound picked up by Zach Francisco. Still a 1-point game. Raheem Solomon throws that out of bounds. And it'll be Wildcats ball. Just about 3 minutes now gone by here in a slower moving second quarter of play. Antoine Black for 3, nearly gets it to fall. Didn't look like a good line. Then it glances off the rim. Now Raheem Solomon. Solomon, a floater, in and out of the basket. Now the putback, no good. Still trying to get it to go. Finally, Zach Francisco able to levitate one home. A 3-point lead for Wilby. Or check that, for Sacred Heart. Here's Damian Wade with a very open look. He gets it home. His first basket of the evening. And it's again a 1-point game. 4:12 to go here in the second. Solomon for 3, won't go. Now Mayo shovels it along for Williams. Ronte Williams with the ball again. Williams gets bumped off, goes down to the ground, picked up, and a travel is called. It was Caleb Sampson who was doing the dirty work down on the court. And then he gets called for traveling, so Wilby ball. Wade cycles back for Ronte Williams. Now Wade again. Williams, he gets tripped up, and he'll go to the line. Isaiah Gator, his second of the game. So Ronte Williams is 2 for 3 from the line so far. His first, no good. That's twice now. Now Wilby's been unable to convert from free throw land. Nice by Raheem Solomon. Puts a spin on that ball and manages to get it to go. 3-point lead for Sacred Heart as we start getting closer to halftime. This is Christian Harris. Nearly crossed himself up, instead gives along for Tyquay Harding. Harding finds Wade. Wade, a high shot, goes over the basket. Raheem Solomon comes up with the rebound. Now the other way is Isaiah Gator. Gator travels on his way to the basket. Sacred Heart bench not too happy about it, but it will be Wilby ball. 3:05 to go here in the first half. 28-25, Sacred Heart with the lead. Days on Mayo for Ronte Williams. Now Ronte Williams again. He finds Wade underneath the basket. Wade is able to put one home. Now Damian Wade did not start this game, but he has certainly logged the starter's minutes so far. And now a foul off the ball. Isaiah Gator getting called. That's his third. Or rather, no, it's not going to be Gator with the call. He's going to go to the line. Not sure who the Wilby player was. But either way, Isaiah Gator, who has been pretty good so far. He's now 3 for 3 from the line, and he'll shoot his fourth. Gator again, it's good. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line now, and Sacred Heart again with a 3-point lead, 30-27. Now Williams, Christian Harris, lost possession. Here come the Hearts the other way. Caleb Sampson slowing things up, gives to Gator. His shot misses. Francisco on the rebound, kicks it back out to Solomon for 3, no good. Rebound again picked up by Francisco, and he puts it on home. Zach Francisco now with 4 points. Back the other way, getting assaulted on the way to the basket was Damian Wade. He'll shoot 2. And that's Sacred Heart's 10th team foul. 32-27. Those 5 points, the biggest lead either team's been able to put up so far. So Damian Wade shooting 2. His first is good. Andre Anderson coming back into the game in favor of Fran Barton for Sacred Heart. Dejan Mayo will take a seat on the Wilby bench. Wade's second is good. .2:15 to go in the first half. Francisco, long inbounds, he finds Sampson. Sampson with some speed, and he puts it home. Caleb Sampson, the freshman, showing off the wheels. A 5-point lead once again for Sacred Heart. Christian Harris coming the other way, driving towards the basket, and he lays it home. Harris now with 15, leading Wilby in scoring. Raheem Solomon gets those points right back. He's got 8 now on the game. Here's Christian Harris. Harris draws a double team, draws a triple team, goes into the corner, finds Williams. Now Harris, a long 3, no good. Rebound goes off the hands of Cyrus Smith, and it will be Hart's ball. 86 seconds to go in the half. Sacred Heart with the 5-point lead. Solomon will take his time going up court. Ronte Williams waiting for him. Solomon, a long 2. That makes it a 7-point lead. Now turned over. Here's Solomon the other way. Unselfishly gives along for Gator. Gator couldn't control the pass. Good job by Christian Harris getting back. Behind the back move, driving towards the basket, trying to draw the foul. Instead, the ball rolls out of bounds. Looks like it went off of Andre Anderson, however. So Wilby will maintain possession with under a minute to go. 58.8 to go in the first half. Here's Damian Wade. Travel called against the Wildcats, and it'll be Sacred Heart ball. A 7-point lead for Sacred Heart. Calvin Hicks comes back into the game. To inbound is Anderson. And now a timeout on the floor called by Sacred Heart. So 56.9 seconds to go in the first half. 38-31 your score. Sacred Heart going on a 10-3 run here in the second quarter. They give themselves a 7-point lead. It is the largest lead that either team has been able to put up so far in this game. Al Piccolo and his Wilby team be looking to get a couple more points on the board here before the end of the first half. Don't want to have too much of a deficit going into the locker room against the fourth straight state champion, Sacred Heart. Anderson on the inbounds finds Solomon. Now Anderson once again, and Solomon. Given down low, up in the air, Isaiah Gator putting it home. Gator now with 8 points behind the play. Tyquay Harding is shaken up. Let's see if Harding is able to get back to the bench. He's staying up under his own power. Not quite sure what caught him as the training staff comes out to take a look. Harding so far in this game has 5 points. He has gone 3 for 4 from the line. And he'll find his way back to the Wilby bench. So 42.3 to go in the second quarter. 40-31 your score. And it'll be Antoine Black coming into the game. He gives the ball to Harris. Christian Harris finds Damian Wade. Now given down low, Angel Gonzalez. Gonzalez with the offensive foul as he gave a bit of a shove to Connor Tierney, who comes out of the game. Hart's ball with 29.9 to go now. Here's Caleb Sampson, the only other freshman on the Sacred Heart team. He finds Anderson. Given down low, Solomon for 3, it's good. Raheem Solomon just keeps getting baskets. And now it's a 12-point lead for Sacred Heart. Harris with 4 seconds. Possession goes to Sacred Heart. It'll be their ball with a 2.9 to go. Given along Anderson from way downtown. The line looked good from this angle, but it falls short. And so at the end of the first half of play, it's the Sacred Hearts 43, the Wilby Wildcats 31. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the second half of play. Hello fans, and welcome back to the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School. My name's Zach McGinnis, Second half of action about to get underway between the Sacred Heart Hearts and the Wilby Wildcats. Sacred Heart with a 12-point lead to begin the second half. It's 43-31 after the Hearts outscored the Wildcats 27-14 in the second quarter of play. Isaiah Gator of Sacred Heart leads all scorers so far in this game with 18 points. He is 4 for 4 from the line as well. Raheem Solomon with 11 points, Connor Tierney with 4, Caleb Sampson with 4, Zach Francisco with 4 as well. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, they are led by Christian Harris with 15 points so far in this game. Damian Wade has put home 6. Tyquay Harding with 5 points in the first quarter. He was quiet in the second. Dejon Mayo with a field goal. Angel Gonzalez with a field goal. Lorante Williams 2 for 3 from the line. And Cyrus Smith 1 for 2. So 8 minutes on the clock. Christian Harris inbounds to get us started. And we're back underway. Ronte Williams gives along for Dejon Mayo. Now Mayo again. Mayo for Williams. Ronte Williams tries to get around Tierney. Instead, it goes off of the hands of Tierney and out of play. It's going to remain Wilby ball. Christian Harris, 2 inbounds. Harris looking for an option, finds one in Williams. Now Williams battling his way towards the basket. Coming up the rebound is Connor Tierney. Back the other way, it's Gator. His shot won't go, goes off the hands of Wade and out of bounds. So Sacred Heart will maintain possession. 33 seconds gone by in the third quarter. Ronte Williams checking out early this quarter. Antoine Black will come in to replace him. Raheem Solomon on the inbounds. Now Andre Anderson. Anderson finds Solomon. Solomon gives down low. Fran Barton. Barton manages to finally get one on home. His first of the game. Christian Harris the other way from a bad angle. Can't get that to fall. Rebound picked up by Barton. And the Hearts once again. Couple easy points for Raheem Solomon with the basket. And timeout is called by Al Piccolo. 47-31, your score so far. A minute and 1 second gone by here in the third quarter. At the end of the first quarter, Wilby actually had the lead. It was 17-16, and things were looking up for the Wildcats. But then Sacred Heart going on what ultimately turned out to be a 12-3 run in the second quarter. And they outscored the Wildcats 27-14 in that quarter. And so far they have blanked the Wildcats here in the third. Wilby coming into this game with a 3-2 record. They are 1-0 in the NVL with a win over Kennedy. And there are other victories. They started off the season with an 89-76 win over Derby, and a pair of losses, 78-73 to Naugatuck, 61-56 to Pomperog. Pomperog, well, they are missing the Belden brothers, but seems like they have reloaded rather than rebuilt. Back here, an offensive foul goes against Calvin Hicks. For Hicks, it is his third foul of the game. And it will be Sacred Heart's ball once again. Coming back into the game is Ronte Williams. He replaces Calvin Hicks. Hicks starting to get himself into some foul trouble as Isaiah Gator gives along Anderson. Now Gator again. Thought about the three, instead dishes down low Solomon. Long pass, wide open is Anderson. He nails home the three. As Sacred Heart now with a 19-point lead. Damian Wade unable to keep that ball in bounds. As nothing is working right now for Wilby. Being outscored in this quarter 6-0. And watching this game slowly get out of reach. Anderson on the inbounds finds Solomon. Raheem Solomon met by Christian Harris. Now Francisco. Isaiah Gator for three. No good. Rebound still loose. Francisco had it only for a moment. He jumps on top of the ball. The ball was kicked. Let's see who gets possession out of this. And it will be Wilby. So 2 minutes just about gone by here in the third quarter. The Wildcats looking for their first points of this quarter. Here's Christian Harris. Harris driving the paint. A floater falls short. Andre Anderson the other way. Into the corner for Solomon. Solomon for three. It's good. Raheem Solomon. His second from behind the line. And that gives Sacred Heart a 22-point lead. Tripped up as he drove towards the basket was Ronte Williams. And Williams will get to shoot two. He is 2 for 3 from free throw land so far. His first, no good. A 22-point deficit staring Wilby in the face. Checking into the game is Zach Francisco. He replaces Connor Tierney. Williams his second. No good once again. Now a long outlet pass finds its way into the hands of Andre Anderson. He gives along for Solomon, who can't bank one in. Rebound picked up by Antoine Black. Black rushing the other way. Layup, it's good. Finally, Wilby getting on the board here in the third quarter, but they trail by 20. Anderson for Gator. Gator, nice dribbling shown there. Doesn't get the basket. Foul is against Christian Harris, his first. It's the second team foul so far in the second half for Wilby. Anderson, pass picked off by Wade, coming the other way. Fouled on the way up was Calvin Hicks. Foul goes against Andre Anderson, his third. And Hicks will go to the line for two. 4:58 to go here in the third quarter, 53-33 your score. Again, before this game, the JV teams faced off. And it was Wilby's JV team with a 63-49 victory. Hoping that their friends up on the varsity team can get back into this one. Hicks gets his first to go. Now Hicks, his second, is also good. Wilby getting outscored so far this quarter, 10-4. Now Raheem Solomon, a jumper. No good, rebound picked up by Antoine Black. Now Black the other way, goes off the hands of Raheem Solomon. Did a good job sniffing that pass out as Black was looking to feed Calvin Hicks down on the baseline. Hicks, quick inbounds to Christian Harris. Harris, the senior, led Wilby last year, averaging 14.5 points per game. Antoine Black for three is off its mark. Now Hicks. Watched by Zach Francisco. Pass picked off by Isaiah Gator. Gator nearly caught from behind, still battling for the ball. He draws the foul. The foul goes against Antoine Black, his second. 4:19 to go in the third quarter. And the Hearts with the ball. Solomon inbounds to Zach Francisco. Pass picked off. Here's Calvin Hicks the other way. Hicks misses on the layup. Runs into Isaiah Gator. And Hicks is shaken up behind the play as he and Gator came together pretty hard. Hicks is able to get himself back up on his feet, and he'll stay out on the court. 4:09 to go in the third. An 18-point lead for Sacred Heart. Now Hicks will check out of the game. Ashton Hobbs making his first appearance. Isaiah Gator flying on in, can't get the layup to go. Francisco on the rebound, can't get the putback. Foul called on the play as Dazon Mayo came up with the ball. Will be the Wildcats with possession. And here's Christian Harris. Wilby in their last game against Derby was unable to hit one, or was unable to score any three-point field goals. So far in this game, Christian Harris has been able to hit from downtown. Wilby's going to need to start taking some chances offensively if they want to get back into this. 3:40 to go. Turned over by Fran Barton, so the Wildcats will get the ball back once again. Barton will now check out. Noah Francisco comes into the game. Christian Harris with the ball. Gets it back from Black. Now swung out for Hobbs. Harris again. For Black. Travel is called. And Sacred Heart will take over. 3:21 now remaining in the third quarter. Still an 18-point lead for the Hearts. Andre Anderson finds Solomon. Raheem Solomon nearly crosses up Mayo. A jumper by Gator can't go through. Williams the other way, triple team, manages to get himself out of trouble. He finds Christian Harris, a long three, and it's good. Right back the other way, Francisco can't get the layup to go, neither on the rebound Gator. 2:45 to go in the third. Antoine Black will come out of the game. Calvin Hicks back in. Good to see Hicks back on the court after being shaken up a couple moments ago. Gator. Anderson. A long three is good by Raheem Solomon. His third of the game. Gives him 18 points so far. And once again makes it a 22-point lead. Christian Harris is able to answer quickly for Wilby. Solomon looking for the jam, but he bricks it. Now Williams. Hobbs tripped up is Harris. He gets back to his feet. Christian Harris driving towards the basket, gets fouled, and he gets an N1. But no, waved off. So no basket on the play. It'll be Wildcats ball. They'll inbound from underneath the basket. Fourth team foul against Sacred Heart. And with 2:07 remaining here in the third quarter, Wildcats with the ball. This is Calvin Hicks for Hobbs. Now Hicks again. Hicks, watched closely by Anderson. Pass intercepted. Coming back the other way, Isaiah Gator gets it to go home. Gator now with 20 points in this game. Here's Christian Harris. Big moves as the pass goes off the leg of Raheem Solomon. Damian Wade will check into the game. Dazon Mayo will head to the bench. 92 seconds to go here in the third. It's an 18-point lead for Sacred Heart. Now trying to sneak in is Caleb Sampson. They'll allow the substitution, so Andre Anderson will go to the bench. And now Calvin Hicks for Christian Harris. The offense runs through Harris. Harris looking for the ISO. Noah Francisco not biting on it. Harris off balance. Shot's no good. Caleb Sampson the other way. Sampson gets met. Noah Francisco back for Sampson. Sampson down low for Zach Francisco. No basket as Francisco gets called on the travel. Wildcats to inbound with 1:07 to go in the third quarter. This is Williams. Black. Back for Williams. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Williams shot high and wide. Wade gets the basket, gets the foul, and he'll shoot one more. 55.2 to go in the quarter. A 16-point lead for Wilby. Or check that, for Sacred Heart. Damian Wade is 2 for 2 from the line. Make that 3 for 3. As Wilby manages to cut this deficit to 15. Angel Gonzalez providing pressure on the inbounds. Coming up with it is Isaiah Gator. 50 seconds to go. Gator gets fouled. A couple players went down hard. Looked like it was Ronte Williams and Angel Gonzalez who got the worst of it. So let's see. Fouls getting tossed all over the place here. Head coach Al Piccolo wants an explanation. 45.8 to go in the third quarter. Wilby with a 15-point lead, or again, with a 15-point deficit. So Isaiah Gator going to the line. His first is good. Damian Wade comes back into the game. He replaces Angel Gonzalez. Gonzalez did start this game, but it seems like Damian Wade has gotten most of the minutes. Gator's second is good as well. 22 points on the game for Isaiah Gator. As Wilby now looks at a 17-point deficit. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Ronte Williams. Bounce pass for Ashton Hobbs. Now Williams again. Given along for Hicks. Hicks gets fouled hard on the play as he tried to thread the needle between between the Francisco brothers, Noah and Zach. Hicks thought it was a shooting foul, but he hadn't exactly gotten up. Now Fran Barton will come back into the game. He'll replace Noah Francisco. And actually, Hicks is going to go to the line here. Had different signals given by the referees, but either way, Calvin Hicks 2 for 2 from the line. His team trails by 17. Hicks hits the first. Now 3 for 3. Sacred Heart with 17 fouls, so Wilby finds themselves in bonus territory. Hicks, his second. No good. A rebound picked up by Zach Francisco. Now Raheem Solomon with 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Just letting the time tick on down. 10 seconds to go. Now 5 seconds left. Solomon drives in. The jumper, no good. Rebound pops out to Anton Black, who gives it along for Calvin Hicks. He missed on a shot that was well after the buzzer. And so at the end of 3, it is Sacred Heart 60, Wilby 44. Wilby with only 13 points in that quarter. Sacred Heart with 17 as they are being led by Isaiah Gator. Gator now with 22 points on the game. Right behind him, Raheem Solomon. Solomon with 8 points in that quarter. And that gives him 21 for the game. Haven't seen too much out of freshman Connor Tierney so far in the game. Tierney is 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. He has 2 field goals, 4 points, but certainly has more blocks than you can shake a stick at. Meanwhile, for Wilby, Christian Harris with 5 points in that third quarter. Damian Wade with a couple baskets. But Christian Harris with 20 points so far in this game. That leads Wilby by a wide margin. Damian Wade is second on the team in scoring with 9. Wildcats ball to start off the fourth quarter, trailing by 16. Bronte Williams for Hobbs. Cycled along Harris, pass intercepted by Isaiah Gator. He couldn't get possession, and so Wildcats maintain possession. This is Harris again. Gives along for Hobbs. Hobbs for 3, no good. Now another 3. Ronte Williams gets it to drop on through. Wildcats will need more of that if they want to get back into this game. Meanwhile, Tierney draws the foul. He'll go to the line. He's 0 for 2 so far. That is the 6th team foul for Wilby. Connor Tierney, 0 for 2 so far. Make that 0 for 3. Back in the game is Dazon Mayo. Ashton Hobbs will find his way back to the bench. No points so far for Hobbs. Tierney, his second. No good. So Connor Tierney, the freshman, 0 for 4 now from the line. And then a foul off the rebound. And Wilby with a 1-and-1 coming up here. 60-47 your score. Wildcats need to take points wherever they can with only 7:24 remaining in regulation time. Christian Harris will shoot. His first is short. And Raheem Solomon picks up the rebound. That was Harris's first trip to the line. Now Isaiah Gator for three. There is no stopping Isaiah Gator in this game. Now 25 points for the senior. That shot falls. Back the other way comes Sacred Heart. Raheem Solomon gets it on home. This is Ronte Williams. Picks up the pick by Daly. First time we've said his name tonight. Christian Harris tries to dribble his way around Andre Anderson. A long three, just a bit short for Ronte Williams. He picks up his own rebound, goes for the layup, and gets it home. Williams now with 7 points in the game as timeout is called. 65-49 your score. Sacred Heart with a 16-point lead. Presently, they come into this game with a 64-game winning streak in conference play. And well on their way to extending that to number 65. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, coming into this game with a 3-2 record, assuming that they cannot turn the offense up with 6:19 remaining in regulation time. They'll drop back to 500. Last year, Wilby was 8-13 overall as they missed out on the conference tournament. They were invited to states and put up a respectable showing there. On the floor for Sacred Heart, Isaiah Gator, Andre Anderson, Raheem Solomon, Fran Barton, and Connor Tierney, all starters for the Hearts. For Wilby, it's Calvin Hicks, Christian Harris, Dazon Mayo, Ronte Williams, and Damian Wade. Layup off the hands of Gator, doesn't go. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Christian Harris trying to muscle his way towards the front of the basket, gets knocked away and then sent out of bounds. Isaiah Gator was thinking about diving for it, but with the scorer's table right there, not exactly a forgiving surface. Here's Williams for Wade. Wade tried going behind his back with it, no sale there. Nice quick passing by the Hearts and an easy layup for Isaiah Gator. Now Harris the other way, big block thrown by Connor Tierney. We haven't seen too much of that. He had 5 blocks in the first quarter and has been quiet for the middle of the game. But a big block there. It remains Wilby ball. 5:38 to go in regulation time. Wildcats down by 18. Again, a huge block by Connor Tierney as he's able to get some elevation in his jump. Harris to inbound. Lays it back up to Ronte Williams. Williams has that knocked out of his hands by Raheem Solomon. Wildcats again with possession. 5:30 to go in regulation time. Here's Williams. Goes back for Harris. Harris driving the lane, runs into a wall. Fran Barton and Connor Tierney both holding their ground. Harris a bit shaken up on the play. Seems all right. Foul was called against Fran Barton, his third. And Christian Harris goes back to the line where he is 0 for 1 so far. Checking back in is freshman Caleb Sampson. Fran Barton will take a seat on the bench. Harris to shoot 1-1. The first is good. Harris now 1 for 2 from the line. Here's his second, looking to make this a 16-point game. It's good. Wildcats trying to pull even with Sacred Heart as this game gets closer to the end. Here's Andre Anderson. Anderson, more than content to kill some time. Raheem Solomon for Connor Tierney. The hook shot no good. The putback by Gator falls short. Wade picks it up. He finds Harris, and Harris with the easy layup. Christian Harris now at 24 on the game. Right back the other way, Isaiah Gator. For Gator, he now has 29. Here's Williams. Harris for 3, off the top of the basket, or rather off the top of the backboard. Now Isaiah Gator bringing it back the other way. He finds Solomon. Raheem Solomon with the offensive foul. Wildcats ball. For Solomon, it's his second foul. It is Sacred Heart's 10th team foul. So if Wilby can manage to draw contact, again, they'll need points any which way they can take them at this point. 4:20 to go in regulation time. Christian Harris with a stopper, falls short. Hicks has that go off his hands and out of play. Sacred Heart happy with the call. A 16-point lead for the Hearts with 4:12 to go. Here's Andre Anderson. Anderson working on Harris. Given for Caleb Sampson. Sampson for Solomon. Solomon driving the paint, draws the foul, can't get the basket. But he'll go to the line for 2. 3:54 to go in regulation time. Solomon making his first trip to the line in this game. He'll shoot 2 as his first is good. Now Solomon can't get the second one to fall. It's a 17-point lead for the Hearts. 70-53 your score. Here's Calvin Hicks. Hicks has it knocked out of his hands. Going the other way is Caleb Sampson. He can really fly. Instead, he gives along to Gator, whose shot falls short. Coming back the other way, this is Calvin Hicks. Hicks finds Harris. And eventually on the rebound, Rohan Daly, his first basket of the game. Now Sampson back the other way. He finds Anderson for 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Gator and knocked in. Not only does Gator get the basket, he gets the foul as well. So Gator will shoot his and one. 3:20 to go. And Sacred Heart with a 17-point lead. Gator's shot rolls in and out. Isaiah Gator, 31 points now, as Christian Harris. Layup didn't go exactly the way he wanted to. Andre Anderson with the layup, and it's good. Now Harris, down low for Wade, that's blocked. A whistle and a timeout and a 21-point lead for Sacred Heart as they have pulled away here in the fourth quarter. 2:50 to go in regulation time. This game really changed in the second quarter. The Wildcats at the end of the first had a 17-16 lead. Sacred Heart towards the end of the second quarter went on a 12-3 run. They outscored Wilby in that second quarter 27-14. They extended that lead in the third quarter, outscoring Wilby 17-13. And another 16 points in this quarter. It matches their first quarter output. Fouled on the play is Ronte Williams, so he'll go back to the line. He is 2 for 4 so far. But with his team trailing by 21, the hill they need to climb has only gotten steeper. Williams, his first is good. Checking in for the first time is Mike Napolitano of Sacred Heart. Williams, his second, is good as well. Now 4 for 6 from the line, but his team trails by 19. Fouled on the play is Andre Anderson. He'll shoot 1 and 1 here. Sacred Heart now seemingly getting the rest of their team checked into this game. Coming on, Garrett Jones. Vin DiAugustine coming on in, as is Nick Williams. So for the Hearts, they have themselves a 19-point lead. Andre Anderson's shot falls short. Here's Harris. Pullback jumper, no good. Rebound picked up by Napolitano. Napolitano then gets fouled on the play. And so Sacred Heart will once again go to the line. Drayvon Robinson now in the game for Wilby, his first appearance. The first by Napolitano is good. A 20-point lead for the Hearts with 2.5 to play. Napolitano hits his second. Here's Harris for 3. No good. Rebound fought for by Robinson. It ends up in the hands of Andre Anderson. Anderson driving to the basket, can't get the layup to go. Rebound ends up in the hands of Antoine Black. Black driving on in, and he lays it home. 4 points for Antoine Black in this game. Anderson starts things up. Nearly got away with a kick. Now a long 3 by Nick Williams. Napolitano gets tripped up on the play. Christian Harris again shaken up as he's down on the court. 1:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Alex Gonzalez now in the game for Wilby. No relation to Angel Gonzalez. DiAugustine to inbound. He finds Napolitano. Nick Williams puts one up, does not fall. Rebound picked up by Drayvon Robinson. Robinson for Hicks. Now Hobbs for Gonzalez. That one off the rim and out. Napolitano stripped away by Calvin Hicks, and then a big block by Napolitano. Gets called for the foul, his first. And Calvin Hicks will go back to the line where he is 3 for 4 so far in this game, and the only points that he's been able to put up. Both teams now in the double bonus. So here's Hicks. His first is good. Antoine Black will check back in. He replaces Drayvon Robinson. Hicks, his second, off the front of the rim. Rebound picked up by Napolitano. Napolitano is able to fight off a few players looking for the ball. Garrett Jones down low for Williams, who lays one home. Back the other way, Antoine Black able to make something happen. Caleb Sampson finds Napolitano, broken up by Hicks. Calvin Hicks the other way, tries spinning himself around Caleb Sampson, just ended up spinning himself into the court. But under a minute to play now, 54.3 to go, 80-62 your score. Kevin Bruno making his first appearance in this game for Wilby. Bruno, normally a JV player, but earning the call-up for tonight's game. A foul against Calvin Hicks, his fourth of the game. And so the Hearts will go back to the line. Well, a frustrating game for Wilby as they started off strong, but allowed the game to get out of reach in the second quarter. And they haven't been able to stop the bleeding. The first by Caleb Sampson is good. Sampson for his second. He hits that as well. Caleb Sampson, the freshman, with 6 points now in this game. Here's Antoine Black for Hicks. Back to Black. Now swung along for Gonzalez. Long pass connects back with Hicks. Hicks tries to battle his way towards the front. Ball pops out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez sends one off the face of Napolitano. Layup no good. Now Hicks for three. That's short. Rebound picked up by Caleb Sampson. Long pass connects up ahead with Nick Williams, who gets it to go. Last 10 seconds of the game as Antoine Black. His shot no good. Napolitano picks up the rebound. He finds Sampson. A long pass. Williams at the buzzer, no good. But Sacred Heart comes to the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium at Wilby High School, and they walk away with a 22-point lead for the victory, 84-62. Your final score. Isaiah Gator, clearly the star of this game, as he finishes with 33 points on the evening. Raheem Solomon finishes up with 24 points for Sacred Heart. Meanwhile, for Wilby, Christian Harris with 24 points. And Ronte Williams finishing up with 11, as the offense dried up early for the Wildcats. So Sacred Heart will be in action again tomorrow, a 3 o'clock tip-off against Gonzaga at the Hoop Hall Classic. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, they'll have a couple days off before they face off against Kaner Tech right here at the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium, a 7 o'clock tip-off on the 15th, and we hope that you will join us then. For everybody on our technical crew, this has been a DET Sports Media production, and I'm Zach McGinnis saying so long from Wilby High School, Sacred Heart 84, Wilby 62.